V steps out from his car just in front of Sumi's house. In one hand he holds a small wrap box with some flowers upon. As he enters inside and his gaze falls upon a gruesome sight. Sumi's lifeless body lies on the cold marble floor, her porcelain skin now pale and clammy, her eyes staring blankly at the sky, surrounded by a crimson pool of her own red escape from her foam. V's heavy footsteps echo through the area as he rushes towards her, gently cradling her body in his arms. His rough palm reaches out to tap her strained cheek, hoping to stir a response. But her eyes remained unresponsive. We hold Sumi's limp figure so as the weight of his grief stripped apart, but his chest raw, providing intense pain when his tear locked onto the stab wound of her. Once symbols of his affection now seemed trivial and meaningless in the face of the sight his veiny hand held onto the pale hand of Sumi's. With all the reminders, he walks inside the graveyard, his long strides carrying him through the rows of withered headstones until he reaches the final resting place of his beloved. As he stands before her, when he felt the step again that never seems to end away, and with slow moves he places a bouquet upon with grim face which is mask of agony etched on his incense. The silence is still. This place serves as a harsh reminder of his loss, which is constant ache that refuses to subside. The orbs of Vees lingers in front of bringing the memories of that fateful day. Thought he has already accepted his death, eliminating those responsibilities for her burial, and but the barren sight still festers within him, which forever seared into his mind. The sight of Sumi's blood-stained body sears his stoic essence, the reality slowly sinking in, and soon his calloused hand reaches out, tracing the letters of her name on the. His move is a constant to the brutal world Sumi inhabits, which left the ache longing for what could have been. Dismal eyes bore into the earth under the darkened sky, yet the stillness remained. The low breaths and the ear-splitting noises of the men's pleading echoing in the mind of Jimin, who is taking his steps in a hurry, the bloody view still as vivid for him as it was the night before. The cold breeze freezing the atmosphere, yet they never diverted the lost Jimin, who is not feeling anything at the moment as his face is slightly covered under the hood of his jacket. Each time some strangers passed by him, he turned his face more lower and lower, hiding under the shade of hood as he don't want to be seen as a killer, which he unfortunately turned out to be. Opposite from the normal life he wanted to have, he could hear the voices of everyone exclaiming him as a murderer. The thoughts ring in his mind and more louder than before. The door of apartment unlocked at the door opened and Jimin entered. He hurriedly closed the door, making loud noise as he locked it from inside with racing pace as he leaned his back totally with it. He sat on the floor with numb moves, staring at his hands that seems to have that red fluid still on them. With harshness, he tried to remove the color that in real never existed, but in his mind it never vanished since rainy night. He groaned with frustration within his soul. He stood and stepped towards the mirror when his eyes fell on his own reflection, only to see himself covered with the dark red liquid. With a stumble, he stepped back, staring at the mirror. He grasped a vase from near table, shattering the mirror into pieces, breaking the heavy silence as well. The voices in his head only telling him that he is a murderer. The glimpse of past as bitter as they were yesterday in East Jimin took out a cig from pack with grim face and fixed gaze as he placed that between his lips, looking through the glass window settled on chair. The sufferings he went through to emerge into this still seems to fog his mind as he deeply exhaled the smoke after lifting the lighter near the poison stick. The evening has come as the glass windows reflect shades of sky in the mansion. In the huge hall near kitchen where on dining table sits Yura holding on to her teddy bear, looking at the phantoms with a smile. Who all are busy in working on some delicious dishes together, decided to make today's dinner by their own hands, believing that the outcome would be great. Hoseok is near the huge dining table, placing some plates upon in a well manner, besides fork and knives, getting eyed by Yura who giggle at the sight, which make Hoseok grin at her as well. The noise of vegetables being cutting is echoing inside the hall by two of Jimin and Jungkook who holds on to sharp silvery knife which is gleaming under the dim light upon their heads. Besides them stands V and Suga who are cutting the meat with large knife and solemn visage as their sturdy hands contains the dark reddish shades of meat and their muscles are stretching with each move. When near the stove stands other brownie men, Seokjin and Namjoon, who both are frying the pieces of beef. Their every action is measured and calm, taking the breaks in between. Everything was fine until the smell of burning hit the nostrils of Yuras, who get down from the chair, taking slow steps near all before holding on to the apron of Jungkook's, looking at him with clueless eyes. Jungkook looked down at her when she spoke. Cookie uncle, can you smell of something burning? All mates looked at her as well. And that was the moment all sensed the strong burning smell of beef as they turned to look at stove where no one is standing and the meat is now sticked against the grills. At the last, five of gazes seal on Namjoon and Seokjin, who both are talking on phone call when one from them is standing near other, holding some papers in his hand, and soon they smell the same. They turned around only to get the gazes of all mates on them, who all sign before turning off the stove as Namjoon and Seokjin look at each other. You guys burned the whole meal, he said, folding his arms onto his chest, looking at two of them with grin face, who also shook their own heads at the fault before stepping near. Now what we have to eat for dinner after this, he said with serious expressions as he leaned with the nearby wall placidly. Moments later, now all sits on the dining table, with dun faces looking at the burnt state of meal. What are you guys waiting for? Let's start the dinner, he said when all served themselves. All thanks goes to Seokjun and Namjoon for this delicious meal, he said, taking the bite from bit a steak as he glanced at both males who are eating calmly. "It does not taste this much bad, like you all are describing," he said, taking another slice of meat, placing in his plate as he eyed to all, who raised their brows for the assurance. "We take the bite from beef before he take the lean with cushioned chair, staring at both tranquilly. If it's not too bad, then it's not good as well." Jungkook take the gulp from drink as his eyes sailed on the burnt dish as he spoke steadily afterwards. "Next time, let's not let both of them take responsibility of grilling the meal." Namjoon and Seokjin sighed as they all continued with the food when all glanced at Yura, who giggled at the statements of all, making all seven chuckle as well.